Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. So y'all can see by the title what we're gonna talk about. I got this news about 2 days ago and I could not help but to comment on this. A lot of my nursing friends and we've been having conversations among each other, and this is absolutely crazy. If y'all haven't seen the news, I'm actually gonna attach the video to a clip right now so you guys can see it, and then we can get into the conversation. All right, here it goes.
Nursing schools sold over 7,600 fake nursing degrees at $15,000 each. I'm not talking about certified CNAs, y'all. I'm talking about LPN, RNs. These people went on to sit for the board, and 30% of them passed and got jobs around the country. The hell?
That sold fake nursing diplomas nationwide, and there are more arrests to come. Local Times' Roy Ramos is live with this developing story. Roy.
Nicole, this was a $114 million scheme where nursing schools based right here in South Florida sold those fake diplomas at $15,000 a pop. Those students would then take that diploma and in some cases obtain nursing jobs without even having the proper training. U.S. Attorney for the Southern District Mackenzie LaPointe surrounded by federal agents to announce the results of Operation Nightingale, a scheme where fake diplomas and transcripts were sold to thousands of people across the country in order to work as registered nurses.
The last thing we want to learn is that the nurses administering the medications, the ones charged with carrying out doctor's order, took shortcuts on their clinical training and used fake nursing diplomas to get their licenses and jobs. Unfortunately, thousands of people have taken this shortcut.
7,600 that federal agents are aware of. 30% of those who purchased the $15,000 fake diplomas went on to sit for state exams, even passing them.
Use those fake credentials to sit for state board examinations, obtain their nursing licenses, and ultimately get jobs at hospitals.
We learned the 3 nursing schools selling the fake documents were based right here in South Florida. One at the Palm Beach School of Nursing in West Palm Beach, another at the Siena College of Health in Lauderhill, and at the Sacred Heart International Institute in Fort Lauderdale.
25 individuals have been charged across multiple states with wire fraud crimes, including conspiracy.
While agents have already identified several facilities where people may be working as licensed nurses who obtain those jobs illegally, the concern is the safety of the patients being treated by them.
To date, we have not learned of nor uncovered any evidence of patient harm stemming from these individuals.
So 21 arrests have already been made. 2 more are expected over the next few days. As a result, agents have notified nursing boards across the country. For now in downtown Miami, Roy.
All right, guys. So now that you've seen the video, let's talk about this a little. This is crazy. This is disturbing. This is the most craziest thing I've seen so long. And the thing is that this bothers me so much because of the fact that you leave basically your health is in these people's hands. And being a nurse, I remember going through nursing school in 2013. They were basically letting us know how patient safety is the biggest thing. It doesn't matter what you have going on. Patient safety is the biggest thing. And they always stress that in clinicals. And, you know, making a medical error is also a big thing. And I think this right here is just playing with people's lives, and I don't like it whatsoever. You come to the hospital, you're supposed to trust these people to take care of you, to have this knowledge and know what they're doing. Come to find out, these people don't even know what they're doing. So basically, I had to like look into this a little bit more because I got invested. Once I'm invested, I start looking through it and start Googling stuff and just trying to get as much information as I can. And my husband knows like I'm crazy when it comes to that. So apparently these schools in Florida, apparently this has been going on since 2016 through 2021. Well, you know, you can even say now because they've been busted. But 2016 through now, that is a very, very long time. And I also read that at least 2,300 of those nurses that bought the fake degrees are working as registered nurses, and they've been working since then. So you really have people out there gambling with your life. This is like a whole different level of fake it till you make it. This is not one thing you want to fake. You're playing with people's lives. They come to the hospital hoping that you know what you're doing, hoping that whatever you learn in school, you're able to practice it. No amount of training can prepare you for nursing. So just imagine not going to school, not actually starting off with the fundamentals of just knowing your basic nursing, just knowing textbook things to actually start practicing, in the field. There's some things that I've read in books that, sometimes I go into work and I'm like, oh, I remember this from nursing school. Like, it just, oh my gosh, this is just crazy. I think this is getting out of hand. Honestly, I think at this point, like, this is making nursing a joke. Patients already have issues trusting us as it is. Even when you show up, you can be full of experience, but you have a baby face, they don't even trust you. This is crazy. We're not being respected. Now with this scandal, definitely the respect is like going down the drain. Nursing is literally not what it's used to be. And honestly, just by like with the shortage as it is, it's not the same. Like, I have my friends and I will sit there and talk about how it used to be when we first started, nursing. Now, the hospital is empty. There's barely anyone. There's a new face every day. Nowadays, people are just here for the money. Travel nursing is just a mess because people are literally just going to school just to be a travel nurse. And they say, oh, we're going for the money. Like, I had a friend that I modeled with a while ago. I did not see this girl on social media for a little bit. So I contacted her. I was like, hey, I haven't seen you posting anything. Are you okay? She's like, yeah, girl, I'm fine. I've just been in nursing school and, I just got to focus. Y'all, this is somebody that I would never have guessed would want to be a nurse. And she never gave me that. And the first thing she told me after she told me that she was in nursing school, I was like, oh, interesting. That's good. And then she's like, yeah, so how's the travel rates looking? That was around the time, when COVID was starting to like lift and, they were starting to lift a whole lot of things and, the rates started going down. They're still pretty bad. But, it's not like you're going to go out there and get 10K a week. That's not happening anymore. The government already regret giving that money to us. That is, I don't even know when the heck you're ever going to see that again. But that's not happening. They already want to cap travel nursing. They want us to have a cap. A lot of doctors were upset that we were making so much money, way more than them. And on top of that, travel nursing is becoming so saturated that it's going back to regular rates. There was a contract that I worked. It was only paying like $40 an hour. And Florida already has the lowest rates. So Florida has the most nurses. It is just crazy. This is just crazy to me. The first thing she asked me was about travel rates. How much is the rate? How's the money looking? How much do you make a week? Oh, girl, I can't wait to start making that money. Not even the, I can't wait to be a nurse. I can't wait to, make a change. I can't wait to, help people. I can't wait to make a difference. Those were what we used to say back then. Now it's like, I can't wait to make that money. There's new nurses coming in making way more than I could have ever made when I first became a nurse. And they're still complaining that's not enough. Like, what exactly were you expecting to get when you became a nurse? I remember my first nursing job. I started off making, 26 and some change. These new nurses are coming in making at least like $35 an hour. And they're like, no, that's not a lot of money. Granted, nurses do work hard, but this is how it's always been. And now these nurses are just, taking contracts in hospitals, working 2 years and boom, leaving. Now the hospital is short, back to square one. Just so the moment they get to 2 years, they travel. Some nurses are not even trying to do 2 years, to work, to get the experience. Some of them are just taking 6 months and then they find like, a little mom and pop travel agency and they travel and go make that money with no idea. I was having a conversation in my last assignment with one of the nurses that actually went to Texas. I told him I stayed in Florida. He went to Texas. He was telling me how he was in the ICU and there was a nurse there that didn't even know how to do blood sugar. They didn't know how to administer insulin after they get the blood sugar. There was a lot of, honestly, I feel like there was a lot of death that was not COVID related, but around that time, since it was just so much, going on, that's what they were blaming it on. Like, this is very dangerous. This is very dangerous. And, the fact that I have family members that are older, I have kids, now it's like, you've really got to keep an eye on your family members, because you don't know who's taking care of your family members now, especially in Florida. And Florida's not only the only state. I was actually looking into this a little bit more. This was also discovered in Delaware, New York, New Jersey, Texas, in Florida. This whole thing was called Operation Nightingale. Florence Nightingale is rolling in her grave right now, because what the heck? This is just crazy. And, we actually sat there last night at work and we calculated this. This $1 million operation. First of all, it's 7,600 plus. Right now, they only got 7,600 as the number, but it's more than that. So if you even do 7,600 by 15K, that's $114 million. But probably more than that. This is just, all I can say is just be safe out there. When you go to the hospital, ask questions. Do not be afraid to ask questions. Listen, don't ever be afraid to ask a doctor a question. Don't ever be afraid to ask a nurse a question. If you're getting a medication, you can ask, why am I getting this? What medication is this? I want to write it down. It's okay. You know what? Since I've been a nurse, since I was a baby nurse, I've always had these questions asked for me. You know what? I thank God that I usually have an answer, because I'm the type of person, like, if I don't know a medication that I'm giving, or if I'm giving this type of medication for the first time, I like to read about it before I go in a patient's room, so I can at least explain to them, like, hey, this is what I'm giving you and this is what it's for. And, and I can also explain how it relates to whatever condition that they have and how it relates to their treatment. You know what? It's okay to ask questions. I highly encourage asking questions. I always do with my patients, especially working in the ER. Everything is always moving so fast. I always ask the patients, do you have a question for me? Are you confused by anything? Do you need me to ask the doctor anything? Like, this is a scary time we're living in. There's a shortage of nurses, and the nurses that are around you, you don't even know if they even got everything the legitimate way. And this is just unbelievable. Like, I don't want to be shocked, but I think the fact that because these schools were so close to me, it's what's shocking about it. It's one thing to hear it and it's like another state and you're like, damn, that's crazy. But they're over here like, yeah, in Florida. And we're like, oh, it's probably one of those little hole in the wall places. Fort Lauderdale is right here. Palm Beach is literally right there. Like, you hop on 95 and you're there. Like, this is crazy. If you guys have any comments on this situation, please, I would love to have a conversation in the comment section, because this is absolutely bananas. And me as a nurse, this makes me nervous, because you know what? Even though I'm on one end, I can always end up on the other end of the bed, especially like, let's say if I get pregnant or if I get sick, I can always end up on the other side of the bed. I've already experienced being on the other end of the bed. It wasn't the best experience, but I've experienced it. But this is scary. This is scary, It did state that, some of these nurses are practicing. And it never was specific on, what exactly they're going to do, if they're going to get their licenses revoked, or, what type of, not, I don't want to say punishment, but consequences of their actions that's going to happen. But we do know that there are 25 people charged, and these people that are charged are instructors, recruiters, clinicians, and nurses themselves, because most of the nurses that are practicing are instructors. Instructors are nurses. So This is just a lot. I am very curious to see where this is gonna go, how it's gonna end. But I'm gonna keep watching the news. If there's any updates, I will come back and update you guys because this is huge. The year just started. What day are we? Like the 27th. Can we at least make it to February? Like, can we make it to February? But you know what, guys? I'll keep looking into this. If anything else pop up, I will most definitely be jumping on here, randomly popping up and giving an update. This is crazy. All right, y'all. See y'all later. Like and subscribe. Hopefully the year gets better after this. Bye, guys.